What's up, squids? We're back with another pointless video, and today we are out here on the GT73 Pro. I have had so many people in my comments saying you should review the GT73, the GT73 Pro, the GT54. Well, now I'm lucky enough to have the GT73 Pro right here in my hands, and we're gonna take it on some tests. I'm not gonna wheelie it because the brakes are on the wrong side, and I ain't gonna lie, it does need better brakes. I'll go ahead and tell y'all that right off the rip. But I've only put 20 miles on it, kind of as like a test ride and just making sure everything worked properly before I actually did the review. But let's do this review. And just like always, I'm gonna be completely honest. I told the company when we was talking about working together that I've just got to be completely honest is my only thing. So let's go ahead and do this. We're gonna do some trails, some street riding, all sorts of different stuff. And first off, by the way, this thing is a tall bike. So if you are looking for more of a tall bike to ride, this is a good option right off the rip. I don't know the seat height off the top of my head, but I guarantee it's upwards of like close to 30 inches. Squirrel! Imagine he jumps on my head and just starts attacking me. The weather over here where I'm at has been so bipolar. It'll be 30 degrees one day, and then the next day will be 65, and then the next 3 days it'll be snowing and we'll have a blizzard. As you can see, there's still snow on the ground. But today it is 50 degrees, like right at 50. I'm not gonna lie, I should have put a jacket on. I'm a little nipply. Just to get to these little trails I'm gonna ride, I'm saying it's like 20 miles just to the trails. Back to the bike. A lot of people have been wanting to see this bike in action, so I wanted to do it. I really have wanted to do it. I didn't realize it was such a full-size bike. Like, it's proper dirt bike height. And you know I just kind of dogged on the brakes, but they're not that bad. I think I'm just hating because they're on the opposite side when you first get it, and I hate having to swap the brakes like that. But there's so many bikes that you have to do that. It sucks, but I mean, I don't know why a lot of companies put the back brake on the right side, probably to prevent wheelies. I don't know, maybe. All I know is I'm freaking cold right now. And look, I'm just cruising. I ain't even on the throttle. We going 27 miles an hour. It does seem like it carries me up hills pretty good, which is nice, especially being a 160-pound guy sitting at 6'1". That just shows if you're any shorter or lighter, it's gonna carry you even better than it does me. I'm able to do this review a little more in depth than all my other reviews because it has pedals. It's technically street legal. I ain't gotta worry about going out here and the cops being like, what the heck? What is this guy doing? If anything, I see somebody, I'll just hit this number. I'm just pedaling, please. I am curious to see how it does on the trails. The suspension seems nice when you're just riding. I mean, look at me bouncing away. To be completely fair though, I have done zero off-roading on this. I know I said I put 23 miles total. Probably one in this video already, but so we'll say 22 miles total. And it's all been on the road. I just wanted to make sure brakes were working fine, tires. I like to give any type of bike a proper chance because sometimes you just get sent a bike that's defected or something. And I don't want to review a bike that comes with an issue because that's not gonna be 90% of the bikes, you know what I'm saying? We cruising at 35 down this hill. I'm not even on the throttle. So speed don't seem to be too bad of an issue. I think it would be great for commuting and doing stuff like that just around the city for any type of experienced rider. But if you're looking for something that's like a Sur-Ron or a Telaria or whatever, this is more beginner friendly compared to those style of bikes. And that's not me taking anything away from this bike. It seems like a really fun, cool bike. I can go ahead and say this is a very comfortable bike right off the rip. I mean, this seat is super thick. I'm used to riding like the Yasma and these small pit bikes, and those bikes are so fun and great bikes to ride around on, but your cheeks are getting cooked on those bikes. The seats are so thin, and I mean, they're really meant to be stunted. So it's hard to compare a bike like that to this, but this is way more comfortable. Woo, that boy on the Honda Navi. Me and him basically got the same amount of power then. Another good perk right off the rip is this has blinkers, a horn, a really freaking good headlight actually. And dude, if you're like a young kid and your parents got you riding the bus and whatnot, but you can afford one of these, this would be awesome to ride to school if you live like anywhere from 5 to 15 miles away. No, I already said it, but it really is like a perfect commuter bike. And when I say it's more beginner friendly, when I'm saying that, I'm talking more about the torque isn't like a Suron or a Yasma or something, that you rip this throttle on turbo mode that I'm on, it's not gonna fling you off the back of the bike. Your front wheel ain't gonna come up. I'm sure you can probably wheelie this. I personally am not good enough at doing wheelies to even attempt it, but I'm sure you can. So if that's something you're worried about, I think it's possible. I personally just can't do it. I'm not gonna lie, it feels so good to come to a stop. It is kind of freaking cold, guys. We are just about at the trails though. I'm excited to see how this performs. I've only taken 2 separate bikes on these trails. It was the Suron LBX and the Telario XXX. Of course, both of those performed extremely well, but those are upwards of $3,000 to $5,000 bikes. This is the first budget e-bike coming in at around $1,900 that we're attempting to put this through the trails. Oh yeah, here, since we're in more of a sunny area, let me give y'all a little look of what we got going on here. Like I said, it's a way bigger bike than most e-bikes, especially around that $1,500 to $1,900 mark, which is nice for people like me. I'm 6'1", so I'm actually like just barely flat footing this bike. I'm not gonna say for sure, but I'd say you're looking at like 25 plus inch on the seat height. Let's just ride these trails. They're super thin trails. I might actually cook myself here, but I want to see how this handles the suspension, how it handles just being off-road, thin trails. My only downside to a bike like this is I love the pedals on it because of the street legal look, but I hate having to deal with pedals because then I got to keep it either flat like this, like I got to have both feet like this, or if I'm cutting a sharp turn like this, I got to put this pedal down so I can stick my foot out like I'm riding a dirt bike. But enough of me whining and complaining about things that have nothing to do with this bike in specific. Let's just ride this trail. Oh yeah, it's flying right here, and this is uphill. I just have to get used to that back brake being on the right side because I am so used to a left-sided back brake, especially where I'm trying to learn how to stunt and stuff. Golly, it's ripping over these rocks, but the only issue is I forgot it's like mad frozen out here. Okay, it's scooting though. I could be going way faster, but for one, I haven't rode these trails in about 1.5 years, and for two, I don't know that I trust myself to ride these trails much faster than I am. And you probably already know, but I have not done a single thing to this bike. This is complete stock. Wait, where am I? I don't remember this part. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna go up here, and I'm gonna have to go kind of slow because it is thin and narrow. Oh my God. I'm putting my dang skills to the test here for sure. And I don't have many skills to put to the test. So I think I'm gonna pop here. Well, the suspension's holding up because that was a way bigger bump than it probably looked. I got so much mud just slinging all over my cheeks and face. Both sets of cheeks. Okay, this one I was absolutely bunned on last time because look how muddy it is. Ah! A little better, not much better. This one I did good last time. Oh my God, where am I going? Over the hill, kinda. Oh. Hey, it's cooking though on this frozen dirt trail. And I don't know if you can tell on the freaking GoPro, but this is mainly uphill. I got little spurts that are downhill like that. Oh, I'm getting smacked by so many thorns and whatnot. Oh, this is cooking though. This is not bad at all. I'm gonna be honest, it's performing a lot better than I thought. I kind of live on a real steep hill, so I was like pulling it out of my building and it goes straight from my door to a hill that's like this, and it felt like the power was kind of struggling to get up the hill, but I think it's just where I was at a complete dead stop. So maybe it just had to cook up a little bit because there isn't any issues with the power now. All right, now since we've done most of the trail riding, look at this. Y'all thought I was lying. I'm getting cooked up in mud right now. Like, oh my God. Alright, so one thing I'm going to tell riding times right now, maybe I'm suggesting a little bit bigger of a back fender somewhere, because the batteries are getting caked. I'm going to have to clean those real good when I get home. And a lot of people complain about these budget e-bikes like the GT73 and other bikes around that $2,000 mark for having bad reliability, they're breaking this and that. But it's because you're not taking care of your bikes, guys. Like this bike right here, so far, I have nothing negative to say about it besides maybe upgrade the brakes a little bit because they don't seem like very strong. But I think you can adjust them right here on both sides. I haven't messed with it, so they might not even be as bad as I'm thinking. Suspension seems really good. Comfortability is great, and it's a very big bike, which I like because I'm a taller fella. Speed seems good. Power seems pretty solid, especially for what it is. I mean, it's $1,900, and if you use my link in my link tree that says GT73, it will actually take you to the website, and if you buy something, it'll give you more off. And guys, the tires are holding up really good because you can't tell, but this ground is frozen and like mad pointy rocks in the trails I was just riding. Oh my God, downhill you be scooting, that's for sure. I barely gave it any throttle and I was hitting 35. Oh no, a speed bump. I'm at 35, but there's a speed bump. Oh my God, and I hit ice and about slid out. That would have been crazy. Old man would have been absolutely just laughing and cooking me up. I gotta watch this water, dude, because that water spot I went over, that was pure ice and I had no freaking idea. 10 miles into this video and the 20 miles beforehand when I was testing this bike, to be honest, it's a solid bike for $1,900. The thing a lot of these people do, which I just never understand it, is they'll compare this $1,900 bike to a Suron that's $5,000 or a Stark Varg that's $12,000. And if you're doing that, you're never gonna think any bike for $1,900 is good because you're comparing it to a bike that is completely out of the price range. So the build quality is gonna be different. The specs are gonna be completely different. And honestly, the specs ain't even that bad on this bike. So maybe the specs aren't gonna be different. It's just gonna be like build quality, like disc brakes to hydraulic brakes, just little upgrades that come with these more expensive bikes. But I'm just glad I got to get out and ride a little bit today, especially out in town. It's been so long. If you're a real OG, you know I started my channel moto vlogging on actual motorcycles, so since I've went to e-bikes, I haven't really gotten to ride out in town much. So it's nice to kind of get back out on the public roads and not have to worry about cops because the street legal look to this bike. Honestly though, if you're thinking about the GT73, I think it's a really good bike. I have the Pro version, which gives you just a little bit more on the specs. I'll actually put a comparison over here of the regular GT73 and the GT73 Pro. I do think for the price, you might as well just go ahead and throw that out the window and get the GT73 Pro. Like always though, since we're near the end of the video, I'm gonna do what I always do, being an e-bike content creator. I'm gonna give this an e-bike content creator rating, 1 out of 10, in a category of $1,000 to $3,000 bikes. And I'm gonna give this a 7.5 out of 10, which is actually pretty high because the only score that I'm giving a 9.5 was the Talaria XXX, and that's kind of the bike that runs the $1,000 to $3,000 range, and it's a little more than $3,000. I don't even know if I should put it in there, but yeah, I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10 in the $1,000 to $3,000 range of e-bikes. And it's actually an e-bike, it's not really an e-moto. For a proper e-bike, this thing passes the test. It's mad comfortable. I could ride it all day if it wasn't 48 degrees outside. Probably feels like 30. Suspension is fine. It's got a full twist throttle, forgot to mention that. Love it. Please, companies, even if you're making a like cheaper bike, full twist throttle gives you automatic points. Nice display, blinkers, headlight, pedals, the whole 9. So yeah, 7.5, maybe even a 7.8 out of 10. Guys, don't sleep on the GT73 Pro. It's a good bike. Peace out. Love y'all.